video, we're going to talk about YouTube and how various people tend to view this platform from various different things. So I've structured myself as someone who is truth, who deal in truth and honesty, facts, and how things present themselves, because that's how only thing I can go off on, how things present themselves. I can't go off of anything other than that from what I research. And what I'm starting to find out with a lot of people on this platform is when you set yourself up for a particular way, a lot of people would like to try to find various ways to tear down what you're saying if they truly don't believe in what you're doing, and they're just going with whatever. And partially I believe some of that is because a lot of times people are being fake and phony about who they really is on this platform, versus when they actually see someone who is real, they're still looking for the fake part of them. When it comes to situations and certain people. And it's really starting to appear that way on this platform when it comes to the YouTube platform and how people view this thing. Like I've always said, since I realized about how everybody view other people on the platform, they're viewing people off of whether or not they have a lot of views and whether they have a lot of subscribers and how many channels that they have and what they got going on and how much money is in they're making from this channel. Almost similar to, like I said before, what kind of house you stay in, how much money do you have in your bank account, what kind of clothes do you have on, how are you on fleek, or it's like people are trying to or understanding about something based off of something else other than just the sheer fact of that's what they have. On the platforms, some people really do feel like you cannot talk about YouTube if you haven't been on this platform for years. And that's because it's drained and put inside your head to think that way, right? But I will stand by what I say when it comes to smaller content creators. There are smaller content creators on this platform that barely have any subscribers and barely have any views, and they are full with information because they're learning it and they're studying it from others. They're experiencing it from themselves. So you never should look at certain things like that. You shouldn't. And what I'm experiencing with this different side of exposing, because on this side of exposing, I'm not just talking about individuals. I'm still exposing things. I'm not just talking about individuals per se, because I will tap on that as well. But I'm also talking about various different things that are leading up to whatever is being exposed. I'm also talking about people behavior and really listening to what people are saying and finding out the root of the problem as to why a particular person feels the way that they do. And one thing I am learning on here is that a lot of people are hurting on this platform. A lot of people are dealing with issues that they got going on in their everyday life, that on this platform they can be whoever they want to be, or they take this platform and other platforms as solid, that defines who they are. I mean, in this whole little experience here, I had the person that I did my last video on basically tell me I was their son, and I'm trying to figure out, how am I your? What are you saying? I'm your kid? Like I get it's the times, and it's just the generations on how they call themselves, trying to throw jabs at you, rank at you, trying to make you feel less than or whatever. That's just their own little way of doing so. But in their minds, they really do feel like you're beneath me on this platform because I have this or I have that. And that's how a lot of people take their stance when they're trying to prove something, when it comes to how many channels that they can maintain, how many subscribers that they may have, how many viewers that they have on their stuff. And when they come to be combative about it, they throw that in your face. And then when you show them that, no, there's more going on than what you realize, they take offense to it. Now, some would even say just simply trying to explain something comes off as if you're the one who's being offensive. Well, is it really that that person is being offensive, or they're just reacting to whatever you're saying? So then others will say, well, maybe you shouldn't react to it. But then something happened with the person that tells you you shouldn't have reacted to it, and they themselves react to something else. So you have to look at the whole picture. Are you saying you shouldn't react to something because of the final consequence of what actually happened from it? Or are you saying not to react to it because that is truly how you feel and you just would not have reacted to it? But how can you say that if you're never placed in that position? How can you say you would never react to a certain thing like that if you aren't in that position? Or is it you don't want to react to it because you don't even want to deal with that situation? So you allow certain things to happen regardless because you yourself are not willing to tackle the real issue because you want to overlook the real issue that is going on. And so that's what I'm seeing is happening a lot on this platform, outside of people hiding behind subscribers, hiding behind channels, hiding behind whatever is going on this platform, because they created their own little virtual world of something that they are not in real life, and then they take what is going on in real life and they inject it onto this platform to accumulate views. And somehow the two worlds are blended, but for some people it doesn't blend well. It really doesn't. And so people take offense to ones that really tackle things head on. It comes off too headstrong. It comes off too offensive. It comes off they're being too critical. They're being too analytical. It comes off as they take things too deep. And then for the ones that do look at things from all perspectives and sides and views and really want to know what the root of the problem is, other people come off as you're just letting too much go over your head. You're just allowing too many people to walk all over you. You're just not facing the truth for what it just simply is. Or you're just making assumptions based off of how you feel versus just tackling it right on. And see, so therefore you have two different type of people. You have some people that don't like to deal with anything, or actually got a few people. I don't think it's just two. I think it's a few people. A type of people in there. You got people who just really don't want to deal with things. You have people that want to deal with things head on. You have people that want to hide and deal with things just so that way the attention ain't on them originally. You have some people that want the attention on them, so they do stuff to get it, but once the attention get on them, they want to back away. You have various different people. You have people who have these huge behind egos based off of what they think they can and cannot accomplish. And then when they finally run into a person that don't look at stuff for that, it don't resonate with them well. It don't blend well. They can't see it for what it is. Everything that person says comes off offensive to them. If they make a comment on your video and then the person that really can deal with a lot of stuff and just want to see what's what or share their opinion about things, it comes off as if you shouldn't have an opinion about what I said because I said something on your platform. That's not right. Is it? Like, everybody's entitled to their opinion. The whole part of seeing things from different perspectives is really to listen and hear each other out. But it can't be one-sided. It can't be where only one person is listening and the other will not. Even if you go through extremes, measures of trying to show people you're not right what you're saying, only because you're not right what you're saying. And it will get turned to, oh, you're just doing this because you don't want to lose this or you don't want to lose that. No, it's not right because it's not right what you're saying. And just don't want to deal in the truth. Don't want to deal in assumptions. Don't want to deal in speculations. We just solely want to deal with the truth. And so that's why things go further into debt. That's why you have to look a little closer at what's actually going on. That's why you have to be willing to step aside. But everybody is not made the same. And that's the issue when dealing with a platform with a lot of different personalities, because everybody is not built the same. And what one person may be able to tolerate, another one may not. And where one person may think that it's okay to do this because there's no harm in it, another person will not. And so therefore, that's why this platform really isn't built for everybody, even though people push that this is a platform for everyone, and really it is not. It is not a platform that everybody can come on and be a part of, because everybody can't deal with the side effects of it. If someone is always making videos about you, then you have to really ask yourself, why are you always making videos about me? Is there something about me that everybody is going to make videos about me, right? If someone always says something, you have to look at what part of that might be true if everybody is saying the same thing. But now you do have people that just make it seem like everybody is saying something, but really nobody's saying absolutely nothing, because they want to try to control the narrative. So we get people to thinking something, because in their minds, they're a lot bigger than what they really are. And so you'll have some that will try to make it seem like something that is not. You'll have some people that can't accept accountability and can't say they're wrong, right? You'll have some people that even if you say you're wrong will still cause another issue because they feel like they want to keep something going. So on my platform, which I opened up for all people's perspective, I do allow a lot of things to happen that some people may not allow to happen. And when I lend out that hand of trying to understand and trying to see why you feel the way you do. Remember, I made videos back and I said, when it came to exposure videos, after you kind of figure out why the person is doing the stuff that they're doing, you want to kind of get into the minds of the people that are believing this as to why are they even first doing it to begin with. Well, this is kind of that side of it. This is the side where you're now trying to figure out, why are the people feeling the way that they're feeling? Why are the people buying into scams the way that they're buying into them? You know, why is this the why, the why of something? And for some people, trying to find out the why of anything will literally drive them crazy. It will get them teed. even with myself, I'm only human. I can only be pushed absolutely so far, you know? So if somebody comes at me, even after I'm trying to do all I can to understand, and you still trying to make it into something that it's not, well, that will get me upset. It will. I'm not going to even lie to you. And I can't take that to a certain extent when I have went above and beyond where nobody else would even tolerate it. They'll just block you or don't pay you absolutely any attention, or just keep on going because they'll treat you like you don't matter. And when I'm a little bit different, I don't like treating people like they don't matter, because I like to listen to people, because everybody does have an opinion. But when I see that you're doing it and you're not being sincere about what you're doing, well, then you get the other side of my bad side that I sometimes don't even like dealing with. You get on that side of me where I become a little sarcastic, and I can be a little harsh, and I can come at you the way I need to come at you in order to be able to tolerate your foolery until I can try to figure out what is really going on with you. And see, that's where I tell a lot of people, you know, I can deal with a lot of things, but can people really deal with me is a question that they need to ask themselves. And so I've always been honest on my platform. I know there's a side of me that a lot of people don't care for. A lot of people will struggle to like. Either you like it or you don't. I'm about one of the realest people that you could possibly meet. I really am. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't act like something that I'm not. I do look for facts, and I look for truths, and I look for, as y'all call, receipts, and I go with how the evidence is that presents itself. But when it comes to people, I also like to listen to what the real issue a person have. And so even in this experience here on my last video with the person that I was talking about, and let's get something straight. Okay, so I am taking the stance of exposure, YouTube, talking about myself, giving people tips and stuff like that. I'm taking that stance on that. So whenever I do that, I have to look at things from all sides, right? I literally have to do that in order to be able to understand, at least do it to a point where it don't personally drive me crazy in trying to do that, right? So I don't expect anybody out there to do what I'm willing to do in order to get down to the root of the problem. But I will only go so far, even with myself, as to what's going on so I can better understand the situation. It's not me being fake. It's not me being phony. It's not me being one way versus the next. I think I'm pretty open and pretty honest. When you ask me about something, I'll go ahead and I will let you know what it is. Now, I can do all this stuff, right? And still, if that's what's made up in your mind to believe, whatever it is you're going to believe, there is no changing it. But at least I don't have the understanding of why you're doing so. And so sometimes I will go through the extremes of reading comments from what we had so we can all see a clear picture, because everybody likes to paint a picture that really ain't there. And the crazy part is, people that say they want truth and want understanding of stuff, instead of simply just going to the source and trying to see what it was before they pass judgment, quickly pass judgment on someone before they find out the real deal. And some of it is because it tapped into something that they had an issue with in their life and they just don't want to deal with it. Some of it is they have so much dedication to one person over another that if whoever have the stronger bond with that person they feel is being attacked, they're going to side with that person versus this person. Well, see, this is the difference with me. I don't need you to do that. A lot of people on this platform, they worship people like they're in a cult. They do. They put people on a high behind pedestal, and then they want to defend them to the end. I literally had someone to do that with me today where they said, I like you as well, but I like them more because I've been following them more and I believe in them more than what I believe in you. So when you said something that I did not like, because I assumed you was talking about them, that's after we came to the conclusion, because before it was, you're coming after them. No, I wasn't. I wasn't at all. Even went so far as to go through the very video that they said that I did it with, and let's go through it step by step so you can tell me what part was I talking about them. And then I can let you know what's actually happening. And not that I'm just saying it right now, but I literally got videos way before I ever met this person where I'm talking about the exact same thing that I'm talking about right now. So when I'm talking, I'm just grouping a lot of stuff together. Okay. If at any time I am talking about a specific person, I will let you know I'm talking about that person in general. So there's no reason to speculate whether or not I am speaking on someone or I am not speaking on someone. But even at me saying this, some people will still say, no, you're talking about this person and you're just trying to make it seem like you weren't talking about this person. So you're in my head where I am talking and formulating stuff in my mind and writing stuff in my notes to do my presentation for my video, and you can tell me what I'm talking about based off of your assumption versus just simply asking me. Like, I keep saying this, there is nothing, as long as I don't feel like I'm giving you information that screw over my personal identification where you could become me, right? I will share it with you if you want to talk about it. I have absolutely no problem with doing that. And I will be completely honest with you about whatever it is that you want to know. So the fact that people would think that I am using some type of reverse psychology on them is absolutely crazy, when I myself have told you I know all the things of manipulation, and I have walked away from jobs. I have walked away from things that I love doing because I refuse to manipulate people. Right? So I'm not doing it. I bring awareness to it because I know what it is. Okay? But I myself will not do that. I've also told y'all I will walk away from something before I let it consume me into something that I am not. But I do have a very strong personality. I am the type of person that will stand on what I say, even when I am wrong. I am a person that will say, and when I say, let me clarify that real quick. When I say I will stand on something, even if I'm wrong, meaning if I was wrong about what I said, I will admit I was wrong. I would accept my responsibility for it. I'm accountable. But when you push me to the point where I done get everything I can possibly do to try to rectify whatever it is that you're feeling that isn't true, and you come at me still, and then you do slick behind stuff to try to make other people come at me, you're going to catch a different side of me. I've never hidden that from anybody at all. And that is not me being disrespectful. That is not me trying to hide something. That is not me trying to change and twist anything. I'm literally, today I almost felt like I was talking to somebody who was insane, for real. It really felt like I was talking to somebody who was insane, because I'm literally reading what the person had said on their post about me, and then it was flipped to say I was reading something that they wrote to their self, and that was their poetry to themselves. This is the poetry to yourself that you responded to SkitLanta commentary? Well, I'm trying to, or were you talking to yourself in your head and you thought you was talking to me, right? And I recognize when people are just saying stuff for bull crap, right? And then there's always a way for, if I assume it and I want to come out and ask you, somehow things always fall into place where I can come up on it and see it for what I thought it was. Like going on a live and you don't realize I'm up there and I'm listening to you plot how you're trying to get me to come over to your live and act a certain way just to get me over there, so that way you can do whatever you want to do to try to continue on your foolishness on your live. That's crazy. That is completely crazy. Okay, the whole point of me coming to anybody live, because I don't run from stuff, I go straight to it, right? But see, when you purposely try to hurt somebody that is covered and truly covered, well, God allows you to see it before you walk into it. So yeah, it's some disturbing people on this platform, and that's one thing I got to start realizing that's going on. And then the other thing about the platform, how you can actually go on other people's platform and just simply read comments of things that are going on. You know, people try to persuade you. Like this whole experience right here, it really is opening my eyes and allowing me to learn a lot of stuff from a lot of different various people, even to like fake apologies on the platform to make you think they're apologizing to you and then trying to make up excuses as to why they're saying what they're saying. When they're not even talking about what you're addressing or what you're talking about. They're going on the deep end about some stuff that ain't even first irrelevant, like the money that they make on the platform and literally taking you from one channel to the next. And wow. And telling you how, you know, they could alter a document, and that's why they're not going to put the document up there, because there's somebody going to say they just altered it, because they can cut and paste. Like, if I was going to do something like that, I definitely wouldn't tell it to the people, because if it wasn't in their head, it would now be in their head. That's where people say that when you're extra guilty, you just start telling on yourself and don't even realize that you're doing it. So it's really crazy. On this platform, I guess because I say I like the truth, people trying to catch me up in lies, and they're not going to, because I'm not lying about anything. I'm literally just stating facts on what's actually happening. And even when I present it with the evidence, like, I'm talking about comments in the comment section. I'm talking about recordings or the actual happening where you can witness it real time for yourself. And that's probably because a lot of people really ain't looking at this stuff, and people really ain't paying attention to what you're saying in the videos. And I think that's why a lot of people probably fall for stuff, because they're not really paying attention. They're just reacting. They're not listening. They're not listening. They're not paying attention. They're not listening to what people say. You know, if you just pay attention sometimes and really just attentively listen, or get a better understanding, then you can kind of see what's actually happening. But some people won't, and that's the realization of it all. Some people are so stuck in the dark about things because they don't have good comprehension. They don't have good communication skills. Even if they mess up on stuff, like people like try to pick at people for the pronunciation of stuff and stuff like that. Stuff like that to me is just pointless to really talk about, really, because some things about people, they're just never going to be able to change. You're not going to be able to change your looks, even if you add stuff to you. Once you take it off, you're still going to be whoever you are. You can't change that. You can't change how you came into this world, so it really don't matter about that either. Even down to some things like your weight and stuff like that. Some people really can't lose the weight. So Ain't no reason to talk about that either, because they might have a condition what make them keep the weight on, or they might have a condition what makes them not be able to gain the weight. So I'm not really understanding that. You can't really talk about their race because they can't have no control over what family they was born in, so they have no control over that, right? Just irrelevant stuff that makes no sense about whatever you're talking about, and they throw that stuff in there, right? This platform is just it's amazing to me, I guess, because I never really been on the old social media type thing like this, to this extent, where I am a content creator. So it is really opening my eyes to a whole nother world. And like I said before, it just seems like people are getting lost in this stuff that they don't know reality from made up. They don't know the real world off of the platform. They don't know what really matters when it comes down to this stuff, right? And then some people go from, I've heard with the other incident that we were talking about, I heard this particular person saying that you really don't know who people is, and that's a true statement. You don't know who people is. You don't even know who people is, even if you met them in person, because literally they can act like somebody that they ain't. So that can go either way, on or off platform. But you can learn a person by how they act. You can learn a person how they handle things, and so they can present themselves one way by what they do on here. You can do that. So yeah, this is some crazy stuff when it comes to this. It's interesting. I just never thought a lot of stuff like this was going on. But like I said, I think I'm built for this type of thing because of just how I view stuff and just how I accept stuff. I still got my own issues on how I have to handle on it or whatnot, how I may come across. Like, a lot of people would be like, oh no, that's okay, you be authentic. But then when you be real, you just being real, you ain't really trying to be nothing different. You're really just showing you who you are. Oh, this fake and phony, they act like it was this, they acted like they was that. Nah, I said all this before, it just, you wasn't listening. You was just the hype cup caught up in whatever I was talking about at the time, and you just jumped on. I said all this stuff. Yeah, y'all. But I'm gonna continue to do this, these exposures, the exposure videos. I'm gonna keep doing what led up. I'm gonna keep trying to figure out the root of the problem, so I can get a better understanding of what's really going on, y'all. And I'm learning from all of this. I'm really enjoying what is happening, what is being opened up to me, and me being able to see people for who they just truly are, not this fake made up stuff, but who they really are as people. And hopefully people can see me for who I really am. And whether or not it resonate with you or not, I'm not trying to force myself upon anybody. If you can't tolerate how I do things, then for your sanity, I would say, then don't deal with it. I wouldn't want you to do that. But like I said, I'm the type of person that this is me, and I just like the truth, y'all. All right. So as always, be your brothers and your sisters keeper. Keep God first, y'all. And toodles.